Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Around the world, a wave of massive construction projects is reshaping the future. From California's $130 billion high-speed rail to Saudi Arabia's ambitious Line City, we've been watching these developments for years. But beyond the headlines, other breathtaking mega projects are quietly transforming our planet. Take China's Xiong'an Smart City, for example, a $95 billion investment built from the ground up in just 7 years. Over 3,000 buildings have risen, and the city features digital roads that collect real-time traffic data and calculate optimal emergency routes. These are not just construction projects, they are building the future. China is known for its ancient history and booming economy, but perhaps the most astonishing thing is its incredible speed of construction. While the U.S. high-speed rail faces decades of delay and Saudi's Line City remains largely on paper, China has turned barren land into a futuristic city at breakneck pace. This $95 billion mega project didn't just build skyscrapers, it laid down roads that can think. These smart roads calculate the fastest routes for emergency vehicles automatically. And this is only the beginning. China's ongoing mega projects are redefining the scale of modern infrastructure. So here's the big question. How is China building so fast? And how will these projects shape the global future? Today, we explore China's most mind-blowing mega projects that are not only changing cities, but global standards. China has already done what many thought impossible. It's building a $95 billion smart city on the flat plains of Hebei and doing it at breathtaking speed. This is Xiong'an New Area, a second capital hub designed to relieve Beijing of its non-core functions. Spanning over 2,000 square kilometers, the city is planned as a high-tech, green, intelligent, and livable urban space. Unlike traditional cities, Xiong'an was designed from scratch, both above and below ground. Underground, there's a complete transportation and utility system. Above ground, the city emphasizes nature and open green spaces. The infrastructure blends subways, high-speed rail, water systems, power grids, and 5G networks, all into one ecosystem. It's thinking roads, powered by 5G and IoT sensors, monitor traffic in real time, adjust signals dynamically, and can even calculate optimal emergency routes. Imagine a fire truck getting all green lights to reach the scene in record time. That's not science fiction. That's happening now. While other countries debate whether to build, China is already focused on how to build better. This difference may define the race for the future. Next, let's shift our focus to a completed mega project in China. Not just a transportation hub, but what many call the largest high-speed railway station in Asia, Xiong'an Station. This is not just a train station. This is a 60,000-ton steel masterpiece, a mega project where high-speed rail meets futuristic architecture, built not just to transport people, but to showcase the future of infrastructure. Construction began in December 2018, completed by December 2020. In just 2 years, China completed what the world thought was impossible. China's incredible engineering doesn't stop at building cities. It also extends to the movement of water on a national scale. While southern China has abundant water, the north faces chronic shortages. To solve this imbalance, China launched the most ambitious water transfer project in human history, the South to North Water Diversion. With a staggering $120 billion investment, this project spans over 14,000 kilometers. Equivalent to building a waterway from Beijing to Egypt. The central route alone crosses the Yellow River and the rugged Taihang Mountains, posing extreme engineering challenges. Hundreds of pumping stations, reservoirs, and tunnels had to be built. And to protect the water source, nearly 400,000 people were relocated. Today, over 10 billion cubic meters of water flow northward each year, bringing vital supply to Beijing, Tianjin, and beyond. This is not just an engineering feat, it's a national lifeline. The South to North Water Diversion Project is the world's largest interbasin water diversion project. It has the world's largest aqueduct system. Transporting water from up high, the longest of them reaches 9 kilometers in one stretch, so that it is not affected by the surface environment. It employs the world's largest pump station group. Designed in 13 cascades, the pump stations lift water stepwise and send water from Yangzhou all the way to the southern bank of the Yellow River. Numerous water interchanges high and low are built. Some cross the Yellow River beneath its riverbed. Some stride the Huajang River from above. Major rivers that are vastly apart now meet with each other. Thanks to the automated facilities that equip the entire route, this grand project is able to navigate through 8 provinces and a major river basins, diverting water over 2,000 kilometers cumulatively in an orderly manner. 9 years into its full operation, water sufficient to fill up the entire Yellow River has been diverted to North China, meaning that 170 million people in 44 cities now use water from the Yangtze River. Today, empowered by modern technologies, China are reshaping rivers like never before, and even create new rivers on this very ancient land. Beyond water, China is now tackling some of the harshest terrain on Earth with the construction of the Sichuan-Tibet Railway, a mega project across glaciers, earthquake zones, and towering mountains. This 1,959-kilometer railway links Chengdu in Sichuan to Lhasa in Tibet. It crosses 14 active fault lines and numerous snow-covered peaks. Engineers face extreme altitudes, frigid temperatures, avalanches, landslides, and earthquakes, all in one project. Some sections exceed 4,000 meters above sea level. Building a single tunnel can take 5 years or more, but once complete, this railway will cut travel time from 36 hours to just under 13. It's more than a transportation line. It's a symbol of China's determination to push the limits of engineering. And the world is watching as this miracle unfolds. So why can China build these colossal projects in just decades, while many Western countries spend years debating a single subway line? The answer may lie in policy execution, integrated supply chains, and a bold, long-term vision for infrastructure. China doesn't wait until every problem is solved before starting. It starts and solves problems along the way. In China, infrastructure isn't just an economic tool, it's a national strategy. Each rail line, tunnel, and bridge represents a vision for the future. Of course, these projects come with their own challenges, from environmental concerns to resettlement and social equity. But one thing is clear, China is redefining what's possible through action. In the future, global competition may not be just about technology, but about who builds faster, smarter, and with greater resolve. For decades, China's infrastructure development has been nothing short of astonishing. Bridges rise like bamboo shoots after rain, leaping across canyons, spanning vast rivers, and linking regions once divided by nature. They've transformed not only how people travel, but the very geography of the nation. From Chinese roads to Chinese bridges, from colossal tunnels to massive dams, from high-speed rail cities to vast underground networks, China's engineers continue to break world records, one project after another. These national icons power the nation's economy with unstoppable force. The world is still the same world, but China is no longer the China of the past, where there are mountains, roads are carved, where there are rivers, bridges rise. With courage and mission, Chinese engineers turn the impossible into reality. Again and again. Known as the infrastructure maniac, China has stunned the world with mega projects that push the boundaries of what's possible, crafting its own legend with each new build. And make no mistake, the world is watching China's rise very closely. Even the United States, with all its pride and power, has started to feel the pressure. President Donald Trump once publicly admitted, "We can't compete with China's infrastructure."
I love China. People say, oh, you don't like China. No, I love them. But their leaders are much smarter than our leaders. And we can't sustain ourselves. China, you go there now, roads, bridges, schools, you never saw anything like it. They have bridges that make the George Washington Bridge look like small potatoes. And they're all over the place.
Why? Because many of the marvels China has created, America simply doesn't have the means or political will to replicate. Chinese engineers don't back down from challenges. They carve roads through mountains, raise bridges over rivers, and overcome obstacles with relentless determination. As one of the world's largest developing nations, China has used infrastructure as a powerful engine for economic growth. And at the heart of it all are Chinese engineers, modern-day heroes who are quietly reshaping the world. From undersea tunnels to the tallest bridges on Earth, from expressways carved through deserts to ultra-long-distance power transmission grids, each project is a testament to what human engineering can achieve when ambition meets precision. These projects are not just massive in scale. They showcase China's world-leading capabilities in structural design, smart construction, and sustainable technology. Now let's explore these jaw-dropping mega projects and see how China is redefining what's possible in the world of infrastructure. So why has China earned the nickname infrastructure maniac from the West? It's simple. When the funding is in place, Chinese construction teams can deliver incredible speed without compromising on quality. In contrast, many foreign teams look helpless when compared to China's pace. Take New Zealand, for example. They've been trying to build a mere 300-meter subway tunnel beneath a city center, and after 4 years, it's still unfinished. Now imagine if this project were handed to a Chinese construction team. Not only would 300 meters be done in no time, even 3,000 meters could be completed within 2 years. But of course, there will always be skeptics. Some may ask, if China's construction capabilities are truly that advanced, then why did a Chinese-built office building collapse during the Thailand earthquake? Doesn't that prove it was just another shoddy project? But here's the truth. Isolated incidents like that are the exception, not the rule. Across the globe, Chinese-built infrastructure is renowned for its quality and resilience. Real engineering power isn't judged by one rare failure. It's proven by the countless megastructures that continue to stand tall year after year. Let's look at a stunning example. In Changsha, China, engineers built a 57-story skyscraper in just 19 days. This high-rise was constructed using a modular building block method, where prefabricated sections were assembled on-site at incredible speed. Each module was precisely manufactured in factories, allowing rapid on-site assembly while maintaining outstanding structural integrity and safety. It's a true testament to the legendary China speed and technological excellence. The skyscraper is called Mini Sky City, standing at 200 meters tall with a total floor area of 180,000 square meters, capable of hosting thousands of people for work and living. What's truly astonishing is that this tower wasn't built using traditional brick-and-mortar methods. Instead, it employed modular construction technology. The entire structure was divided into 2,736 modular units, 90% of which were prefabricated in a factory before being transported to the site. On-site, these modules were assembled like giant building blocks, achieving a record-breaking pace of 3 floors per day at peak efficiency. This factory fabrication plus on-site assembly model not only dramatically boosted construction speed, but also ensured remarkable precision and quality. In terms of safety, Mini Sky City was designed to withstand magnitude 9 earthquakes and meets fire protection standards far beyond conventional building. Additionally, the method greatly reduced energy consumption and construction waste, earning it global recognition as a blueprint for the future of urban development. This astonishing achievement once again demonstrates to the world what China speed and China ingenuity truly mean. While others are still questioning, China continues to push the boundaries of human civilization with one engineering marvel after another. In Africa, the Chinese-built Mombasa-Nairobi Railway revolutionized transportation in Kenya, connecting cities that had never been linked by rail before. The deep friendship between China and Kenya continues to flourish to this very day. Thanks in part to the Mombasa-Nairobi Railway, communication between the two nations has gotten even closer.
Yeah, with the Chinese experience, they've built the Tibetan Railway, they've built long railway lines, passing through the parks. And when they build this, they take into consideration the needs for preserving the environment. Yeah, that experience is important in the African context.
I think most of the challenges they're able to overcome. If you're determined to get something, you will get something. Nature has just a way of opening doors for people who are really determined in life.
This can make me to tell my children when I'll give birth to kids one time in my lifetime. I'll be telling them about me working with the standard gauge railway, what I used to do here, and they'll be happy that their mom once did something nice in Kenya.
Meaning of the bridge basically is linking this group of people to the other group of people. So as you understand this group of people, the Chinese, and I understand my countrymen, then I connect in terms of language, in terms of way of thinking.
Why is China so eager to spend massive amounts of money on helping Africa with infrastructure development? Some find it puzzling, even questioning whether deeper motives lie beneath China's grand efforts.
Been very concerned lately about China. They're in Africa. They're lending money to countries to build ports and different infrastructure.
To build what?
Port,
and
harbors.
What's wrong with that?
And, well, because...
Countries that need ports, get ports.
But they're making people dependent on... I mean, I know, it's the same thing that we've done, which is
no, it's
horrible
not.
Around the world.
They are far more humanistic than the United States ever was.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely.
Great.
Let me give you an example. Of course they are peddling for influence.
Yeah.
Yeah? But they are non-interventionist. Absolutely non-interventionist in a way that Europeans, the West, has never managed to fathom. The Chinese never asked Apple to go to Shenzhen and produce all the iPhones. It was Steve Jobs that decided that. Yeah? It was not China that went to Washington, D.C. and demanded that they buy a third of your national debt. If they hadn't bought it, you would be in serious trouble. When it comes to the influence of China outside its borders, it's quite remarkable that they don't seem to have any military ambitions. Instead of going into Africa with troops, colonially, destroying the country, killing people like the West has done for the last 100 years, what they did was they went to Addis Ababa and they said to the government, we can see you have problems with your infrastructure. We would like to build some new airports.
In the Middle East, China's work on the Khalifa port in the UAE and metro systems in Saudi Arabia redefined construction expectations with record speed and unmatched precision. In Southeast Asia, the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed railway stunned the world. Designed, built, and now operated with Chinese expertise, it marks a major milestone in global high-speed rail development. This project stands as a flagship of China's Belt and Road Initiative, backed heavily by Chinese state-owned giants. It is operated through a powerful joint venture between Indonesian state-owned enterprises and leading Chinese railway companies. Initially projected to cost under $5 billion USD and opened by 2019, the plan was soon derailed. Construction hurdles and the shock of the COVID-19 pandemic sent costs soaring past $7 billion. Now, the Indonesian government is pushing forward, aiming to extend the 102-kilometer rail line even further. A train running on the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed railway has reached a speed of 350 kilometers per hour for the very first time during a test run. This milestone marks a major achievement. The railway has officially met its design speed standard and successfully completed the interim goals of dynamic testing, which began on May 22nd. Over the past month, the inspection train gradually accelerated, moving from 180 kilometers per hour to 350 kilometers per hour. Now all functionality, performance, and barrier system indicators of the HSR have met the required design standards, paving the way for future trial operations and the official launch of service. In upcoming tests, the train is expected to reach speeds of up to 603 kilometers per hour. This high-speed line, a landmark project under China's Belt and Road Initiative, connects Indonesia's capital city, Jakarta, to another major city, Bandung. Once fully operational, the railway will slash travel time between Jakarta and Bandung from over 3 hours to just around 40 minutes. This is far more than a railway. It's the embodiment of speed, the hallmark of innovation, and a testament to engineering brilliance. Moreover, it marks a crucial milestone in China's infrastructure going global. So if we want to judge the true level of Chinese infrastructure, we should look at the projects still running strong, still serving millions, rather than magnify the outliers. Why are foreign teams so slow? One major reason is the 6-hour workday culture. Workers clock out on time, no overtime, no exceptions. Half the time is spent chatting, the other half actually working, leaving perhaps 3 hours of true productivity per day. And then there's the pampering. Too sunny? No work. Raining? No work either. Harsh weather? Take the day off. With that kind of mindset, how can projects possibly move forward? In contrast, Chinese construction crews are famously efficient. In China, if a skyscraper takes more than 2 years to complete, it's considered delayed. China's infrastructure is rewriting the limits of what's possible. From the magnetic marvel of the Shanghai maglev, still the fastest commercial train on Earth, to the 1,318-kilometer Beijing-Shanghai high-speed railway, the longest of its kind ever built in a single phase. Bridges that defy oceans, like the 55-kilometer Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau bridge. Dams that tame mighty rivers, like the Three Gorges, delivering a staggering 2,500 megawatts of power. Airports that resemble futuristic cities, like Beijing Daxing International Airport, the largest single-terminal airport in the world. Each project is more than steel and concrete. Behind every structure lies a story of vision, perseverance, and national pride. Over the past 40 years, the rapid development of China's infrastructure has attracted attention from both domestic and international media. Some international reports, not intended as criticism, have referred to China as an infrastructure maniac. These reports express amazement at the scale, speed, difficulty, and advanced technology involved in certain infrastructure projects in China. But is China truly an infrastructure maniac? In other words, is China's approach to infrastructure development truly unique on the global stage? In the mountainous southwest of China, a colossal engineering marvel is redefining humanity's understanding of bridge construction. This is the Huajang Canyon Bridge. It's not only another masterpiece in China's Bridge Miracle series, but a new pinnacle in global bridge engineering. To better grasp its scale, the bridge deck rises 2,051 feet above the canyon floor, nearly as tall as the Shanghai Tower and nearly 600 feet taller than the Empire State Building. It's 9 times the height of the Golden Gate Bridge and twice as tall as the Eiffel Tower. This isn't exaggeration. It's the result of Chinese engineers relentlessly pushing boundaries. Once open to traffic, it will become one of the highest bridge decks in the world. Its main span reaches 4,658 feet, 32 feet longer than the UK's former world record Humber Bridge. The total length is a staggering 9,482 feet, an awe-inspiring feat. The bridge adopts a stiffened steel truss suspension structure, complex in form, yet highly stable and reliable. To support this extraordinary span, the design team implemented a cutting-edge rigid truss suspension system. The twin towers stand 859 and 672 feet tall, majestically anchoring each end of the canyon like modern industrial sculptures. Even in design aesthetics, engineers paid tribute to classic forms. The tiered connections at the tower tops that evoke the Art Deco flair of San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge. But what truly commands respect is the difficulty of its construction. With the treacherous terrain of Huajang Canyon, engineers had to work at dizzying heights of over 2,050 feet to install massive steel trusses and main cables. Facing high winds and harsh lifting conditions, they relied on world-class construction technology and advanced simulation techniques to ensure precision at every step. The entire steel truss weighs 22,000 tons, yet all components were hoisted into place within just 2 months, a new benchmark for China's speed in bridge construction. According to Xinhua, the project cost approximately $283 million and was completed in just 42 months. Once operational, it will slash the canyon crossing commute from nearly an hour to just 1 minute, dramatically improving local transit and energizing regional economic growth. More importantly, the bridge integrates smart cable technology, with built-in sensors monitoring structural health in real time, ensuring long-term safety and stability. Today, this magnificent structure is not only a milestone in Chinese bridge history, but a rising global landmark. And it's sparked worldwide discussion online. An American netizen said, if this were in the US, it would probably never get done. No matter how big the budget, nobody would be willing to actually do the work. We used to be infrastructure maniacs too, but now we even rely on other countries to repair our warships. How ironic. A Brazilian viewer was clearly moved by the scale of the scene. This view is absolutely breathtaking. Standing on a bridge like this, I believe even the worst mood could be healed. A Vietnamese viewer commented, "What China is best at is turning the impossible into reality. Now I finally understand why they're called the infrastructure maniac." A German viewer said in disbelief, "This is unreal. The Chinese must have captured aliens to pull this off." I'm especially curious about what kind of material they use for those cables to handle such massive tension. The project even sparked some heated debate among viewers from Asian countries. A South Korean viewer questioned, "The Chinese just love to show off. Is it really necessary to build a bridge this tall? Feels like such a waste." But a Russian viewer clapped back immediately. "There's an old Chinese saying, if you want to get rich, build roads first. That's a kind of foresight some of you just wouldn't understand." An Italian viewer expressed admiration. "The Chinese are the people who built the Great Wall. I'm not surprised they can build something like this." Meanwhile, a British viewer focused on safety. "What I care about is whether it's earthquake-proof. That bridge is way too high. I wouldn't dare walk on it." A Canadian viewer added a dose of sarcasm. "In Ottawa, it took 5 guys 8 hours to fix a single manhole cover, and they were interviewed and even awarded for it. Now that's a reality check." Another German viewer chimed in, "I'm truly shocked by how fast they built it. If it were up to us, it might take 40 years. Or 50. Of course, not all reactions were positive. A Japanese viewer claimed, "This is fake. There's no way the Chinese can build a bridge that tall. This must be CGI. China doesn't have that kind of technology." But that comment was quickly shot down by others. Have you been living under a rock? That bridge has already been built and opened. So what's your take on these global reactions? Were you blown away by this engineering marvel? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. And now let's continue watching. The birth of the Huajang Canyon Bridge is more than a technical triumph. It symbolizes China's ascent to the summit of global infrastructure. With breathtaking height and span and a pace and precision that defies convention, it declares to the world, China now stands unchallenged at the forefront of global megaproject engineering. But the Huajang Canyon Bridge is far from an isolated feat. In the very same mountains of Guizhou, a technological eye quietly gazes at the stars. It is the Chinese Sky Eye. This world's largest single-dish radio telescope boasts a 500-meter aperture, covering an area equivalent to 30 football fields. Nestled in a natural karst depression in Pingtang, Guizhou, it sits like a mirror of the sky, silently peering deep into the cosmos. The fast telescope's sensitivity is 2.5 times that of the now-retired Arecibo Observatory in the United States. It can detect the faintest electromagnetic signals from 13.7 billion light-years away, making it the most sensitive astronomical instrument ever built by humankind. Its applications range from exoplanet searches to dark matter studies, supporting gravitational wave follow-up observations. And it may one day be the first to pick up signals from extraterrestrial civilizations. To ensure that ultra-high sensitivity, engineers implemented an active surface deformation system. 4,450th individual panels can dynamically adjust their angles to track celestial targets. The entire structure is constructed with millimeter-level precision. No bolt is loose, demonstrating engineering control at its very limits. Further west in Guizhou, spanning the Jinsha River, the Baihetan Hydropower Station stands as another energy marvel, often dubbed the lung of the earth. One of the world's most complex and advanced hydropower stations, Baihetan boasts an installed capacity of 16 million kWh, second only to the Three Gorges Dam. It houses 16 turbine generator units, each rated at 1 million kWh. Remarkably, the 338-ton runner of each unit is manufactured and installed to an accuracy of just 0.02 mm, 1/5 the diameter of a human hair. What does that mean? It means these massive precision machines operate stably and efficiently under extreme heat, high water pressure, and turbulent flows. Their success is the crystallization of 30,000 hydropower standards and over 400 technological breakthroughs, integrating high-temperature insulation materials, superconducting generators, 3D fluid dynamics simulations, and more. Annually, Baihetan can replace 48 million tons of standard coal and cut 130 million tons of CO2 emissions, earning it praise as the pinnacle of clean energy. And the construction process of the Baihetan Hydropower Station is nothing short of breathtaking. Even American viewers, after watching how it was built, couldn't help but exclaim, "Honestly, this hydropower station is 3 centuries ahead of anything any other country can do. This is an epic-level project. Only China could have pulled this off." He went on, "If this were in the US, it would take us 50 years just to analyze it. Our government can't even fix a damn interstate highway. Are we sure China's engineering team isn't hiding aliens?" He was clearly fired up. "I'm telling you, at this rate, the Chinese might move the Atlantic Ocean to the moon just to make more room. Remember how they built an entire hospital in a week during COVID? This is nothing to them. I trust the quality, just like the Chinese products I buy every day, solid and reliable. China is making breakthroughs every single day." Comments like these are more than admiration. They're a recognition of China's unmatched capacity to plan, build, and deliver engineering miracles. This is China's infrastructure, shifting not just what's physically possible, but also how the world sees a rising nation. From spanning deep canyons to gazing at the stars, China's infrastructure is breaking the boundaries of human engineering on multiple fronts. It not only links north and south, but also builds a bridge from Earth to the cosmos. The world is seeing this Eastern giant in a new light, not for how many miracles it creates, but for proving that miracles can be planned, built, and accomplished. From high-speed rail to massive expressways, China seems to complete a mega project almost every day. Just 30 years ago, China had 0 miles of expressways. Today, it boasts the world's longest highway and high-speed rail networks, leaving the US far behind. This is why Chinese infrastructure continues to stun the world. A rare combination of speed, precision, and sheer scale, redefining what modern construction is capable of. When you think of infrastructure in the United States, the first things that probably come to mind Are the iconic orange-red cables of the Golden Gate Bridge, or the endless stream of cars on the interstate highways? These are, without a doubt, symbols of American pride. After all, the Golden Gate Bridge was completed in 1937, and the Hoover Dam stunned the world way back in the 1930s. But today, let's shift our focus halfway across the globe, to China. There, a groundbreaking infrastructure revolution is unfolding, one that is redefining the scale, the speed, and the technological limits of what we once called engineering marvels. This is the story of China's infrastructure, a story of breathtaking ambition and record-breaking projects, of a nation reshaping its landscape at lightning speed and rewriting the global playbook for what infrastructure can achieve. Can you believe this? While America is still stuck in endless debates, just to renovate a single bridge, China has already built the tallest bridge on Earth, suspended between cliffs as high as a 200-story skyscraper. While American high-speed rail proposals are still stuck in Congress, China's bullet trains are racing at 421 kilometers per hour across a staggering 40,000 kilometers of high-speed rail, more than the rest of the entire world combined. This isn't a sci-fi movie. This is real. This is China, redefining what's possible in engineering, one mega project at a time. To be honest, when it comes to infrastructure, the gap between China and the US might be far bigger than you think. Take high-speed rail, for example. America's first high-speed rail project, the California High-Speed Rail, was approved back in 2008. And the result? 16 years later, it's still not finished. The original budget of $33 billion has ballooned to over $128 billion. Meanwhile, in China, since the Beijing-Tianjin line opened in 2008, China has built over 40,000 kilometers of high-speed rail, enough to circle the Earth at the equator, and then some. And the kicker? China's average construction cost is only 1/5 of California's high-speed rail project. It's like China is riding a rocket while the US is still on a bicycle. From the frozen highlands of the north to sun-drenched tropical shores, China's vast high-speed rail network keeps racing forward day in and day out. Now let's talk bridges. Sure, the Golden Gate Bridge is iconic, but today, 42% of U.S. bridges are past their intended service life, causing an estimated $110 billion in economic losses every year due to aging and deterioration. In contrast, China is home to 8 of the 10 longest sea-crossing bridges in the world. And the construction efficiency? Absolutely staggering. In the U.S., building a standard bridge can take 7 to 10 years. But in China, advanced pivot technology has made it possible for a 16,300-ton bridge to rotate 180 degrees and connect in just 90 minutes. In 2019, the Pingshan Bridge in Hebei completed its pivot in only 85 minutes, a new world record. One American viewer even joked, "Do people in China have more hours in a day than we do?" So where does this massive gap come from? It boils down to fundamentally different approaches to infrastructure. In the U.S., projects often get stuck in endless rounds of approvals, local opposition, and political tug-of-war over funding. But in China, centralized planning and powerful execution enable the country to rally national resources for major challenges. Just look at the Kong-Zhuhai-Macau bridge. More than 1,400 companies and tens of thousands of engineers work together on a single goal. That kind of nationwide coordination is nearly impossible to replicate in the U.S. And yet, in the face of what many consider a modern engineering miracle, some voices online from the U.S. have raised doubts. With China's current level of industrial development, can this bridge really hold up? I bet it'll need a full overhaul in just a few years. It can't compare to Brooklyn Bridge, USA. This is just a showpiece, no real use, just trying to flex on the world stage. A waste of money, purely symbolic, with no real benefit to the region. But these dismissive comments reveal less about the bridge and far more about their own comprehension limits. They conveniently ignore the 1,000-plus patented technologies developed during the construction. They overlook the 6.7-kilometer undersea immersed tunnel, built with a precision tolerance of less than 5 millimeters. And they're unaware of the bridge's advanced design, with multi-layered anti-corrosion systems, seismic resilience, and the ability to withstand Category 16 typhoons, magnitude 8 earthquakes, and even a 300,000-ton ship collision. When Chinese engineers declared a 120-year design lifespan, it wasn't a marketing slogan. It was backed by hard data, rigorous testing, and world-class engineering. These unfounded criticisms aren't just about the bridge. They're about the growing unease of watching China's engineering capabilities rise, with a speed and confidence the world didn't expect.
Oh, God, please, no! No!
Imagine this. Beneath the roaring waves of the Lingding-Yang Strait, 33 massive immersed tunnel segments, each as tall as an 8-story building and weighing 80,000 tons, had to be aligned and joined together with Lego-like precision. The margin of error? No more than 5 centimeters. The difficulty? Comparable to threading a needle through a moving aircraft carrier during a hurricane. This was the hell-level challenge Chinese engineers faced while building the Kong-Zhuhai-Macau bridge. John Smith, a member of the American Society of Civil Engineers, once said, "Achieving millimeter-level precision in deep-sea immersed tube joints, we used to think that was impossible in the real world." Faced with such skepticism, even ridicule from overseas experts, Chinese engineers responded with quiet determination. Yes, the difficulty is unprecedented. Millimeter-level tolerance in these conditions is an enormous challenge, but that's exactly why we must do it. This is our responsibility as Chinese engineers. We will not be intimidated by mockery or doubt, and no technological blockade can stop our progress. We will stay on site, research day and night, and even if we fail thousands of times, we will never give up. And they didn't. Through relentless effort, they invented a technique called composite foundation treatment, injecting special materials into the seabed to turn soft silt into rock-solid support, capable of holding tens of thousands of tons. During testing, engineers worked 72 hours non-stop, failed 137 times, until they finally achieved a 300% increase in load-bearing capacity. On May 2, 2017, during the connection of tunnel segments E29 and E30, a sudden tidal surge knocked them 3 centimeters off alignment. In that critical moment, China's self-developed dynamic hydraulic adjustment system kicked in, and within just 15 minutes performed a millimeter-level correction. This move didn't just save the project. It rewrote the rules of sea-crossing tunnel construction worldwide. Today, the 55-kilometer-long Kong-Zhuhai-Macau bridge is not only the longest sea-crossing bridge in the world, it's a bold symbol of China's engineering prowess. Next, let's talk about water engineering. The Hoover Dam was once a global icon of industrial might, its power output unmatched for decades. But today, China's Baihetan Hydropower station has taken center stage. Its network of underground chambers stretches over 217 kilometers. That's the length of 300 Empire State Buildings stacked end to end. The largest cavern is 438 meter long, 34 meter wide, and 88.7 meter tall. Hence can easily accommodate 13 Boeing 737 aircrafts. And in terms of output, it generates 3 times the electricity of Hoover Dam. Even more astonishing, while America's Big Dig in Boston went 220% over budget and suffered decades of delays, China built Beijing Daxing International Airport, a massive starfish-shaped megastructure, in just 4 years. It handles 200,000 passengers a day and secured 60 international patents in the process. From cross-sea bridges to hydropower giants, from high-speed rail networks to clean energy megabases, Chinese engineers are pushing boundaries again and again, turning the impossible into reality. They are building, quite literally, the backbone of a nation's rise. These projects show that China doesn't just export infrastructure, it exports a complete development solution. Even the New York Times admitted, Chinese infrastructure is reshaping the global economic order. So how is China defining the next century of human progress? While the US is still fixing highways from the last century, China is already exploring the ultimate future of infrastructure. China continues to overcome world-class engineering challenges through innovative techniques and advanced construction methods, earning it the moniker infrastructure maniac. Moreover, China has undertaken major projects in numerous other countries, each emblematic of its development drive. Behind China's global leadership in infrastructure lies not only a leap in technology, but also the support of a mighty nation. For over a century, from the devastation at the founding of the People's Republic of China, it has been the successive struggles of generations of Chinese engineers that have painted the picture of today's prosperous China. And yet, this is not the end for China. In the future, the infrastructure maniac will continue to help more developing countries modernize, create new opportunities for development, and build a better, more livable world for all. Each bridge, every road, and every project connects cities and countrysides, the present and the future, China and the world. Chinese infrastructure has not only reshaped the face of China, but also exemplified the strength, spirit, and speed of the nation. The infrastructure maniac will never stop. What miracles do you think Chinese infrastructure will create in the next decade? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. See you in the next video.